Hi, this is Pastor Lauren Richmond of East Denver Bible Baptist Church. We were looking back over the years and used to have a radio broadcast called Lead Me to the Rock, and so I think I'll start beginning to take this time to use that as our, what we'll call this broadcast, and from now on it'll just be Lead Me to the Rock daily that we'll try to do this. But as we were thinking about going back, and we're having a problem today with my dog, so forgive us. We're trying to, he's wanting to be on the program, and he's going to make some noise here, so we'll try to get through it. Anyhow, I'm a little bit distracted. But Lead Me to the Rock, there's two things I'd like to share with you, having a yielded purpose and then a determined purpose. And we've talked a little bit about this week, but in Mark 10:45, it says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and give his life a ransom for many." That's the example that Jesus Christ set by going to the cross, and we are encouraged to do the same in our life, and that's the idea of living that Spirit-filled life. God will bring people into your life, and some wonderful people, that will allow you to minister to them, that you might be a blessing and open up the door of opportunity to minister to others. And I'm recalling in 1983 that a young youth pastor from Texas came our way with his wife. His wife had a tumor on the spinal cord and ended up having to spend 6 months at Bellevue Hospital. I believe it was 6 months. And her name was Melanie Jennings. Her husband was Dennis Jennings. Well, we became very close to them, and Dennis would have to fly back and forth, but we would try to check on Melanie while she was in the hospital and do some things for her. And then there was another, young teenager who also from Arkansas ended up down in the hospital for some serious surgery down there, and we'd go check on her as well. And while we were doing that, we had a guy that was in the Veterans Hospital. All these hospitals were on the water. So on May 10th, 1984, I remember going down to make a visit. My wife went down and several others to go see her as well as these other patients. And then I had heard that John the Count Montefusco, a New York Yankee pitcher, was in the hospital. I'm a lifelong Yankee fan, and I thought it would be wonderful to get in and share the gospel with him. Wasn't sure that I could, but I was determined to give it a shot. And so I went into his room and found his room there in NYU, and when I walked in the room, immediately in a gruff voice, as I introduced myself, he said, bad time," and I thought that was it, but then he said, "No, actually I really would like to talk to you. Could you come back?" And I said, "Well, when?" He said, "How about at 7:30? Well, it was 3:30 in the afternoon. But I said, "Yes, I'll be back." So I made arrangements with this other young man to go and to help get my wife home that night, and then I would go back to the hospital. And so I did. And when I walked in the room at 7:30 that night, there was a nurse in the room, and she started to shoo me out. But immediately John said, "No, this is my friend." And so he pulled up a chair, and we sat face to face for an hour and a half. And I had the wonderful privilege that night of leading John Montefusco to the Lord. And I'll never forget that day, and I still remember that it was May 10th, 1984. But you know, I honestly believe that the reality was, as you yield to the Lord and allow him to use you in circumstances, you don't see what's coming, but there's some wonderful blessings and privileges that God sends your way if you're just willing to be obedient, one moment at a time, one circumstance. God will bless it. And so I trust that God will bless you as you yield to him and you be determined to have a purpose to make a difference in somebody's life. God bless you.